I don't know what just happened, but it just popped right off. Okay, to obtain the consent of the monarch for draft bills before they can be implemented. Um, Very, very interesting that this is happening now. Under the mechanism, ministers notify the royal family of specific clauses in draft laws that may affect their personal wealth, their private property, or their public functions. Wow. The ministers ask the monarch to approve the laws before they're passed. Then it goes on to say investigations by the Guardian have shown that the late queen used her privilege. Investigations by the Guardian. You hear that, you guys? You hear that? Investigations by the Guardian. Wow. Goes on to say the use of the consent mechanism has been criticized as undemocratic. They're investigating. The press is starting to investigate, you guys. It says here the mechanism has continued seamlessly into the reign of Charles. Ministers in Westminster, Scotland, and Wales have been required to obtain his consent to 20 laws since he came to the throne in 2022. 20 laws. That's a lot in 1 year. Wow. On 1st June last year, the Welsh government noted in an internal memo that its lawyers had been contacted by Buckingham Palace officials who have sought an assurance that Welsh ministers will take into account conventions regarding prosecuting the crown when making regulations under this bill. Wow. Why are they making this a big deal now? This is very, very interesting. The Guardian goes on to say, in an email the following day, Welsh officials noted that Mick Antonwy, the Welsh government's Counsel General, the equivalent of the Attorney General in Westminster, was not happy with the exclusion. However, he recognizes the ongoing convention and therefore agreed to it. Wow. Wow. It says here, this was a reference to an ill-defined convention under which neither criminal nor civil proceedings can be brought against the monarch as head of state. The monarch has been given personal immunity from swaths of British law, ranging from animal welfare to workers' rights. This is a very interesting article. This is a very, very interesting article. I think this is a damning article for Buckingham Palace and for the British monarchy. I think this is I think we're at the tip of the end, you know. The press is suspicious of the monarchy, and once you have a suspicious press, which I'm surprised, because my sense is that the press is working with the monarchy to potentially cover up any sort of, you know, irregularities, if you will. Let's put it that way, you know, and that the press will do anything to shield the monarchy from being exposed for anything at all. I mean, whatever it is. That was my sense. It's like all the press, the whole royal rota. But it may that may not be the case. I mean, the Guardian is investigating something like this. It says here, however, an investigation by the Guardian has previously highlighted the extent to which this practice gives the monarch immunity for his conduct as a private citizen, affording protection to the king's privately owned assets and estates. Listen to what they said next. More than 30 laws stipulate, for example, that police are barred from entering the privately owned Balmoral and Sandringham estates without the king's permission to investigate possible crimes, including wildlife offenses and environmental pollution. No other private landowner in the country is given such legal immunity. Oh my goodness, this doesn't sound good. This does not sound good. It says here, in the case of last year's Agriculture Act, the monarch was exempt from regulations relating to the marketing of agricultural products, the disposal of carcasses, and the disclosure of information to the Welsh state. Police are also unable to gain automatic entry to the king's private property portfolio under that part of the act. Wow. This is an interesting article from The Guardian. What do I think is going on here? I would say that it's very interesting. I would say that it's very, very interesting timing-wise. Timing-wise, this is a very interesting article, and it's interesting that The Guardian is investigating. It's interesting they're bringing it up, and it's interesting that they're throwing everything in the kitchen sink at the monarchy now in terms of all these exemptions from prosecution. You know, it's not just a question of in Wales, you know, it's a question of the whole entire UK and the fact that, you know, the police can't enter to investigate crimes and things like that, which this has been true for a very long time. Why are they griping about it now? They're literally griping. The authors are Rob Evans, Severin Carroll, and David Pegg. They're three. This is a three-man gang bang. This is a gang bang right here. And where there's smoke, there's fire. What are they getting at? Why does it matter? Why do people care about this? People don't care about this, or do they? Right? And I think they have decided, yes, they do. Why can't the police go in to investigate, for example, where is Kate? You know, they're not saying that. They're not saying that. But I personally feel that that is the subtext. That is the subtext, is that even if, you know, let's say all of these people are not crazy, these AI experts who say that the Kate Cancer video was AI manipulated. Let's say that that's true. I mean, you know, there are two ways you look at that. It's either true or it's not true, right? If it's not true, you know, we don't even need to talk about it. But if it's true, then the question becomes, where is Kate, right? And the fact of the matter is, we will never know, because at the moment, if she's being held at, you know, if she's still alive and she's on the property of the monarch, the police cannot go in to investigate, even if they wanted to. Scotland Yard, nobody can just go in to investigate without the king's permission, right? And once the king, whoever the king is, it's not just King Charles, whoever the monarch is, has immunity from a lot of stuff, civil stuff and criminal stuff. The fact that Rob Evans, Severin Carroll, and David Pegg are bringing this up now, I think is very, very interesting. Very interesting timing. They're going to say it has nothing to do with Kate. They will say that, you know, Kate has cancer and she's recuperating and everybody knows it and it's fine. But the fact is that there are a lot of people who don't know that to be true. A lot of people who are wondering what's really going on. A lot of people who are saying Kate is dead. A lot of people who are saying Kate is injured. A lot of people who are saying Kate is in a coma. A lot of people who are saying, you know, William did something to Kate. A lot of people who are saying a lot of different things. And these are all, you know, theories. They are conspiracy theories to boot. No one has any proof of anything. It's speculation. I understand that. But the fact is that there are a lot of people who just have not accepted this cancer video as being truth. And so then the next step to me would be for Scotland Yard or for the police or somebody to go and, just do a check. What do you call it? A wellness check or whatever. Make sure she's fine, she's alive, speak to her or whatever. They can't do that even if they wanted to. It is against British law because the monarch is exempt. And once Catherine is on the property of the monarch, no police can go in and investigate. And I think that's at the back of the heads of a lot of these journalists. Most of them don't want to say anything. They don't want to rock the boat. Most of them don't want to rock the boat. Definitely places like Daily Mail, The Sun, etc., the Mirror, the Express, whatever. They don't want to rock the boat, right? They're not going to go there. But the fact that you have over here at The Guardian, which seems to be a fairly serious paper compared to some others, like the Daily Mail. I wouldn't say that The Guardian and the Daily Mail are in the same league, and they're talking about this topic and talking about investigations. These journalists are getting antsy, because it's also their reputation on the line as journalists. I mean, if you do have a situation that is irregular going on behind the walls of the palaces, the British monarch, the British monarchy, and you have a scandal going on, if being the operative word, because more than likely there's no scandal. I think Kate is perfectly fine and she just doesn't want to get involved with them anymore for one reason or another. But if there's something going on and the British press doesn't address it and they don't do their job, it's like a dereliction of duty. I mean, they might as well hang up their journalistic certificates, because what kind of journalist are you if you just sat there and did nothing, right? And so even though I think that these people are very nervous and very reluctant to push against the monarchy, I think increasingly they're going to push, especially as Kate continues to remain out of sight, and they continue to get like these BS videos and photos and notes and social media posts from her, but no real sighting of her where she's, the way she used to be, interacting with the public, being photographed, being videotaped, speaking in a normal voice, etc., doing her royal engagements and so on. Until that starts to happen, there's always a question mark. And the press is going to increasingly be forced into a position of having to do something about it, to investigate, to really get to the bottom of what's really going on. And the fact that we have palace officials working behind the scenes to privately assure that prosecution cannot happen, whether it's on the Welsh law or English law or Northern Ireland or wherever, or whatever, is very intriguing. It's very, very intriguing. Don't you find it intriguing?